Hello friends and welcome back to Digitalk. So in the previous multiple sessions, I have covered the types of AI agent, the architecture of AI agent, how it works, what is the learning path for AI agent. Okay, and then apart from that, there are multiple concepts like what is RAG, what is the use of RAG in AI agent, LLMs, and then multiple topics. Okay, and what I said earlier is if you are going to learn the AI agents, okay, so you don't need to be an expert in data science and artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learnings, okay, but they all are related. Okay, so if you are working as an AI agent or you are going to work on the AI agents, okay, so you should have a better some clarity on the data science, AI, ML, and DL. So you should have some differentiations between them, how it works, because AI agent is a subdomain of your data science, or you can say it is a subdomain of data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Okay, so that's why it is important to understand all these terms in the basic way. Again, you do not need to be an expert on all these topics, but as a basic details. Okay, so in this session I am going to cover all these topics: what is data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, DL, at a very high level. Okay, that is required specifically when you are going to learn the AI agent. Okay, so that you have a good understanding of all these topics, and I'm going to explain with an example so that you will get a complete understanding of all these terms. What is the meaning of that? Okay, and because I have seen multiple engineers are get confused on all these terms. What is data science, what is artificial intelligence, machine learning, DL, how they are related with each other. So I'm going to cover everything in this particular session. So let us begin with the session. Okay, now if we talk about a big picture of by relating all four fields, what you need to know as an by taking an example of hospital. So in terms of hospital analogy, okay, so the hospital you can consider as a data science. The doctors in the hospital you can consider as an AI. A specialist you can consider as an ML, machine learning, and brain surgeons, which is the most advanced, you can consider as a deep learning. Okay, so hospital, complete hospital as a data science, doctors consider as an artificial intelligence, a specialist are considered as a machine learning, and brain surgeons consider as a deep learning. Okay, so now when we say about data science, okay, it is very clear from the name as well. Data science, it is a science which is talking about the data. It is doing something on the data, right? So that means collecting the data, cleaning the data, and understanding data to find useful patterns. So why we collect the data? Because we need to understand some patterns in the data. For example, we create some generic static reports, right? And along with that, when we have the data, we can do certain kind of a predictions as well based on the historical data, right? So that means for that we need the data. Okay, without data there is no mean of data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, because all these terms and technologies work on based on the data. The very first science which is talk about the data is the data science, okay, which govern about the collecting the data. So you may have a data scattered across the multiple subsystems in the multiple database, multiple files, txt files, excel files, maybe in the database, and you have a multiple kind of a database. So you have to collect the data, you have to clean the data, because some of the information may not be relevant to you what you are collecting. Okay, and some of the data which you are collecting may not be in the right format. Okay, for example, you want the date in the ddmmyy format, but you are collecting it in a format of yyyymmdd. You need to convert that. Okay, so that means you are collecting the data, you need to clean the data. Okay, because you are going to understand the data to find a particular useful patterns. For example, what products do customer buy together? So you may have a store, retail store, okay, where you are there are multiple customers those are purchasing the lot of items from your store, right? So there could be a pattern that like certain set of customers buying certain set of uh, product together, right? So these kind of information you can get in the data science when you have the availability of the proper data. Now, when we say about the artificial intelligence, so this makes machines simulate human-like thinking and decision making. Okay, so it is again very clear from the name as well. An intelligence which is artificial. Okay, so that means we are going to make a system intelligent. Okay, just like the humans. Okay, and because this is artificial, so we are going to refer it as an artificial intelligence. And what why we are making the artificial intelligence? To making machines simulate human-like thinking and decision making, so that your machine can think and act like the humans, right? One of the example, should this email be marked as spam? There would be a question like if some email is there, okay, then there would be a question like should I mark this email as a spam or not? Okay, so these kind of a questions you are going to handle in the artificial intelligence. Okay, right? Because as a human we also get a lot of emails, and we based on the pattern of the emails, okay, we decide that okay, this is useful for me, or this may not be useful, or this is a spam. right? Now when we talk about the machine learning, the machine learns from examples. So now machine learning, again, it is clear from the name, machine and learning. So that means you have a certain kind of a machines which is going to learn. What is going to learn? It is going to learn the data, because everything is based on the data. So machine learn from examples like the data instead of being programmed. So we do not do any kind of a programming. Okay, we have the data. Okay, and based on that data, your machine learn that particular data. So like predict house prices from past sales. Okay, so now suppose that you want to predict the house prices. Okay, so based on the last couple of years of a sale, like the last 2 years, 3 4 years of data that you are going to collect for the house prices. Okay, based on that you can predict your the house price. Okay, for the future. Okay, like you can get a trend, like okay, how the prices has been increased, or maybe it has been decreased due to some certain reasons. Okay, so based on that data, okay, you can predict the price of the houses based, as I said, based on the past sales. So that means you are doing a certain kind of a predictions. Okay, so here the keyword is the, we are doing the predictions. Then we have a deep learning, which is the most advanced. Okay, inspired by brain. So deep learning is a model or a technique that has been inspired by the human brain, just like the human brains work. Okay, it layers of neurons that find complex patterns. So it just like the human brain, where you have a lot of different kind of neurons. Those are connected with each other. Okay, and then they talk to each other, they connected with each other, they communicate with each other to take certain kind of decisions, quick decisions. Okay, very fast decisions. Similarly, deep learning is a technique which is completely based on the human brain. Again, just like in the human brain, it is kind of there are different kind of a neuros kind of a models in this deep learning. Okay, to find complex pattern and to take the fast decisions. Okay, for example, recognize a dog's face in a photo. So you may have a multiple photos. It could have a multiple different animals. It could have the humans as well. Okay, now out of all, you want to identify a photo which is having a dog. Okay, which is having a dog face. So these kind of a things we can get with the help of deep learning. Okay, so this is again very clear from the name as well, deep learning. So machine learning was something different, but when we are going on top of that, so we are going with a deep learning. So that means we are going to learn very deep. Okay, to find the complex pattern and in a very fast manner. Right. This is the overall difference between all four technologies. Now, if we talk about how they are related with each other, because multiple engineers are confused between like how they are related with each other. Okay. Now, if you see this diagram, it is very clear from the diagram. The first part is the data science. The topmost layer is the data science. So data science is the biggest umbrella. It uses statistics, tools, and domain knowledge. So that means everything inside the data science. As I said, all these technologies are based on data. If you do not have a data, there is no meaning of these technologies, right? So the topmost umbrella is the data science. Okay, and everything is inside the data science. Now the second layer inside the data science is the artificial intelligence. So AI is inside data science. It uses data to make intelligence decisions. So now with the help of AI, we are making the intelligent decisions with the help of machines. Okay, which is taking which are the artificial intelligence. Okay, based on the data which we have collected in the data science. Okay, and then we have the machine learning, which is inside the data artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is a method where machines learn from data automatically. So in the artificial intelligence, we are taking the decisions, okay, based on the data that we have collected in the data science, and machine learning is going to learn the data that we have collected. So it is just not about to use that data to make intelligent decisions. Okay, just go beyond that one. Okay, you have to do some more advanced kind of a filtering based on the data that you have collected in, and that data that you have taken, and you're taking some decision in the artificial intelligence. Okay, so that means a method where machines learn from data automatically. That means you have collected a lot of data. Okay, then you are not going to make any kind of a programming that okay, this is the situation, you have to take this kind of a decisions based on the data. Your machine learning technique will automatically going to take the decisions for you. Okay, and then we have a deep learning which is inside the ML. Okay, so the most powerful technique need lot of data. So here when we talk about deep learning, it's not about some specific data. So if we talk about the scope of data, so the scope of data in the data science, artificial intelligence, until machine learning may be less or moderate. But when we come to deep learning, then we have a humongous amount of data. There is a huge amount of data, and then your system is going to learn that huge amount of data to get the inside of that particular data. So that means every deep learning model is ML, every ML model is AI, and every AI system use data science. So this is the relation between all them. Data science is the topmost umbrella. Then we have artificial intelligence inside the data science. Machine learning is inside the artificial intelligence, and deep learning is inside the machine learning. So that means they completely overlapping with each other, and this is the relation between all four. Okay, and now we have a AI agent. So as I said, AI agent is completely based on all these techniques, right? Because they are related with each other. So if they are related with each other, that means the AI agent is going to relate with everyone. But mainly this AI agent technique is based on the deep learning, right? Because whenever we have a AI agent, so we may have a huge data, okay, and where we are going to take the smart decisions, because we know that LLMs, RAGs are there, okay, they can work on the humongous amount of data to take certain to give you a certain specific information which is your personal, maybe personal to your organization, or it could be public domain information where you have a huge amount of data. So AI agent is completely based on the deep learning. Okay, an AI agent lives inside AI, use ML, DL, tools, because AI agent is inside your deep learning, and deep learning is a part of machine learning, and machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is the subdomain of data science. That means everything is related with each other. So that means your AI agent internally going to use all these models: deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science. So this is how they are related with each other. Now, if we talk about the data science, that data science, as I said, it is data scientist that talk about the data, finding some useful stories in the data. So think of a data scientist like a detective. They examines clue. That means data, look for patterns and tell you what happened and what might happen next. So we have a detective, right, who look for the different kind of a data, it collect the different kind of a data, then try to generate some pattern, and then it can tell you like what happened or what may be possible can be happen in the next, right? Because this is based on the data that has been collected by the data scientist or a detective. Similarly, in the data science, what it does, it collects the data like the sales record, customer clicks, sensor reading, etc. Right? Then clean the data. You may have a duplicate data. You have to mix some missing values. Some data is not required, so you need to clean the data. Then you need to explore the data. Then you need to find the trends in the data. The once you have a trend, then you can visualize that in the graphs. Right? We have a data, then we create a different kind of a graphs based on the data. Okay. For example, we are creating a sales data. What is my last 1 year sales for each and every month? We have a January data, we have a February data, we have March, April, so we can generate these kind of a graphs. Okay, so this is called a visualization, which is based on certain data, and this gives some insight like sales drop every Monday morning, or maybe sales drop in the month of March. So there could be certain reasons for that, and again with the help of advanced techniques we have to identify why the sales was dropped in the month of March. So in the data science, when we talk about the subdomains, so like we have a statistics, data engineering, data visualization, business intelligence, data wrangling, and big data. So if you heard any of these terms like statistics, data visualization, big data, data wrangling, business intelligence, data engineering, so these all are the subdomains of your data science. Okay. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, where machines that think, as I said, we are going to make intelligence which is artificial. That means think of AI like a theater actor. They follow a script rules or improvise learn. AI can be rule based, follow instruction, or learning based, figure it out from example. So as I said, in a theater, you will have a actor. So actor are they going to read a particular script when he or she is going to act. But during the act, that particular actor can improvise some scenes, that can improvise some sentences, it can improvise some scenes based on his own skills, right? Similarly, your AI can be rule based. That means we have given certain kind of instructions which AI is following, or it can be a learning based. So whatever the executions that has been done by the AI in the past, okay, so it can learn from own as well to take the decisions by own. So that means we have the artificial intelligence which is a rule based older ways, like if email has free price, mark as spam. So I am giving the information. If the email you find any text like the free price, mark it as spam. If anywhere you see the temperature 37 degree, patient has a fever. Check every possible move by rule. So what I am giving here, I am making a rule base. I am giving some information based on that it is taking the decision. Now we have a learning base where it has automatically learned from the past pattern and taken the decision by own. Like show 1 million emails. So I have given 1 million emails. AI learns spam filters itself. So I am not going to give any specific term to decide whether the email is spam or not. It has to learn by own. So out of all this 1 million email, AI will automatically learn the pattern and decide which email is spam, which is not. You have given the 10k X-rays, it automatically detect the cancer. Play 1 million chess games or AI beat world champion. So 1 million chess games. That means your AI is going to play the games continuously to understand the different kind of moves. Okay, and once it is perfect, it can beat the world champion. So that means it is learning by own. It is not by the rule base, right? So what are the subdomains of AI? Machine learning, NLP, natural language processing, computer vision, CV, robotics, expert system, and generative AI. So if you heard any of this term, machine learning, NLP, computer vision, robotics, expert system, generative AI, all these are the subdomains of your artificial intelligence. Now come to machine learning. So learning from examples, not rules. Like a child learning, you don't teach child grammar rules, you show them thousands of sentences and they get it. Okay, so now the example is like you are not going to teach the grammar to a particular child. Okay, you are just giving thousands of sentences. Your child is reading thousands of sentences and then it is going to learn the grammar automatically. Okay, if it is past, then I have to use was or were. If it is a future, I have to use the will. Okay, if it is a present, then I have to use is. So you are not training a particular system on certain kind of a rules. It is not rule based. Okay, it is learning by own. Okay, with own executions. Okay, so now when we talk about the machine learning where it is learning by own, okay, not by the rules, so we have a three different categories here: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. These are the three main techniques, okay, which is part of your machine learning. Again, you don't need to learn all these techniques in that detail when you are going to specifically going to be an AI agent expert. Okay, you just need to understand what is machine learning and what are the different subsystem or streams of the machine learning. How it, when we say machine learning, then how it works based on the different kind of a data that we have. So we have a supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. Supervised means learn from labeled example, answer are provided. That means in the supervised, the name is very clear, it is supervised. That means we have given some input and based on that it is going to take the decisions. Like email, spam or not spam, house price 45 lakh. So I'm giving the specific data, spam, not spam, 45 lakh. So this is supervised learning. Why supervised? Because we are giving the specific data. We know the data and that the data we are providing as an input. Unsupervised learning, that we are not providing any kind of a data. So it is unsupervised. So there are some certain hidden patterns. Okay, and it has to find by own. We are not giving any input. These customer buy similar products, group them. Like we have a customer history where the different customer buy the different kind of a product, and we have a certain kind of a category, like certain kind of a customer buy the same set of product together. So we have to group them. Okay, the customer number 1, 10, and 15 buying the same kind of a product, customer number 6, 11, and 18 buying the similar kind of a product. So we are doing the group. So it is doing the grouping based on the purchasing history. We have not provided any input. Reinforcement, learn by trial and error, getting reward for good moves. So that means reinforcement means continuous learning, learn by mistake to make perfect. So AI learn to play chess by winning, losing billions of games. So as I said, your AI is automatically playing a lot of games, okay, itself, and then it is checking the every move where it is defeated, where it is won, okay, and based on that it make itself perfect, right? So similarly for ML we have a multiple subdomains like decision trees, random forest, SVM, k-means, linear regression, neural networks. So if you heard any of these terms, okay, so these all terms are related with the machine learning. Now, the most advanced one, deep learning, which is inspired by the human brain. As I said, there are a lot of neurons in the human brain. So, like neurons in your brain, when you learn to recognize a cat, billions of brain cells connected and strengthened. Deep learning build a similar network of artificial neurons in software. So, just like the we have the neurons in the brain, okay, which help us to recognize the different kind of a patterns, right? Whenever we are looking for a particular object, whether it is an animal, it is a human, it is a any kind of a thing in the world, okay, so our brain understand that, okay, this is the animal, this is the human, this is the vehicle, right? Similarly in the deep learning, okay, we have the artificial neurons just like the neurons in the brain. Okay, so that means it does the deep learning to understand the patterns. So here we have the input layer, hidden layer, 1, 2, and then output layer. So that means there would be an input layer, there would be a hidden layer inside that one, just like the neurons, which is automatically connected with each other, and then they are talking to each other to decide the results. Okay, and then we have a output result which is giving the output. That means, okay, so like face unlock, your phone recognize your face. So we have a face unlock system where your phone is automatically unlocked based on your face. We have a voice assistant, like we have a Siri in the Apple, we have Alexa, we have Google Assistant. Chat GPT and LLMs different, like Claude and then Gemini. These are the text generation, right? Answering questions. Self-driven cars, Tesla autopilot detect objects, medical imaging, AI spot tumors in X-ray. So these are some advanced technologies that is part of your deep learning. Okay, so if you wanted to know the subdomains of deep learning, then we have a CNN, RNN, LSTM, transformers, GANs, GANs, autoencoders, and diffusion models. So these are the some subdomains of your deep learning, and specifically when we talk about the AI agent. Okay, so there are a lot of specific terms like there is which is playing a very important role in the AI agents, like the transformers. Okay, and then CNN and RNN LSTM are the certain kind of subdomains. Okay, that is specifically required to understand when you are going to create your own LLMs. For example, you are going to build your own ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Okay, then you have to learn the CNN, RNN, LSTM in detail. But because in reality we are not going to create our own LLMs, we are going to use the existing LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. So this is not required. But yes, you if you are going to learn the AI agent how it works, then there is a bit importance to understand the transformers. What is the work of transformers? Okay, so this is the deep learning. So overall, when we talk about the data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, so these are the subdomains. So if you heard, anytime you heard all these, any of these particular topics or sub headings, okay, so you will automatically understand, okay, this is the transformers, this is part of deep learning, this is reinforcement learning. Okay, so that means it is talking about machine learning. When we say computer vision, NLP, robotics, that means we are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about data visualization, big data, business intelligence, and analytics. This is talking about the data science. Okay, so this is how you can differentiate between all these terms, right? So if we do a side by side comparison, spot the difference between data science, AI, ML, and deep learning. Okay, so here I have given a chart like what is the main goal. Data science, find patterns in data. AI, make machine think. ML, learn from examples. And deep learning is mimic the brain layers. So what is the input? Here we have a raw data or a database. AI, data plus rules. ML, labeled data sets. And then deep learning, we have a huge data set which will include audio, video, images, and text as well. What would be the output? Inside report, decision actions, predictions, very accurate predictions. If you see the difference here, right? Because from machine learning to we are going deep learning. Why we are going deep learning? Because we have to go with the very accurate predictions. Example, if we talk about data science, we have a sales data dashboard. I can able to see my sales data. AI, you are going to spam the filters. ML, you are going to predict the price. What could be the price of the flat in next couple of months or a year of a time. Deep learning, you are going for a face recognition. So we have a different kind of tools when you are going to learn the different technologies. Okay, so when you are going to learn the data science, so Python, SQL, Tableau, then there are multiples are there, right? IBM Cognos, there are multiple visualization tools are there, languages are there, databases are there. When you are going to work in the AI, you have the different AI frameworks. When you are going to learn in the ML, then again we have a different tools. Similarly, if you are going on the work on the deep learning, then again we have a TensorFlow, PyTorch like a tools. Okay, so what is the need of the data? When it is data science, the need is medium. AI varies. ML, medium large. But when we talk about deep learning, then we have a huge, very large data. So as you know, LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini work on the humongous data, right? So that means your AI agent is definitely part of your deep learning. It uses the deep learning. Your all AI agents use the deep learnings. Okay, so how they work together? A typical AI project pipeline: build an AI that predict house price. Now you want to build an AI that's going to predict the house price. The very first step is data science. Collect the data, clean the data. That means clean house data. That means whatever the data you have collected, what is the size of the data, house, location, age, how old the data, your flat, what is the price. You are going to collect the data in the data science. Second step again in data science, you are going to visualize price trend. Find which feature matter most. Machine learning is the train ML model on past sales. Model learn big house, high price. That means it is learning the data Okay, and then doing certain kind of predictions like the big house, high price. Then we have a AI, deploy model as a service. User enter details, AI give price. User just enter the details, and based on that data, it is going to just give the price of the particular flats. Stepwise deep learning, that means upgrade it. DL models analyze house photos, floor plans to it. Like now, it's not about specific to like to predict the price of a house. Okay, based on that data, you will have a photographs of the house, okay, inside the interior of the house, outside of the house, floor plan, size. So based on all this analysis, you are going to get a more authentic output from the deep learning system like the AI agent. So in real project, all four disciplines work together, each doing what it does best. So this is how every technologies, when we say data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and specific AI agents are related with each other. Now, what are the key takeaways from this session? Data science is collecting, cleaning, and understanding data to find insights. AI making machines think and make decisions can be rule based or learning based. Machine learning is a type of AI where machines learn from examples, not hard coded rules. Deep learning is a type of ML inspired by brain neurons, great for image, speech, text. They are nested, right? That means DL is a part of all these, ML is a part of all these, and AI is a part of DS. They all are nested inside each other. In real project, all four work together. And that's why I said you should have a complete understanding of all these components, all these domains. Okay, the basic concepts, not be an expert. DS prepare data, ML trains, DL improves, and AI deploys. So this is how all terms works. So hope now you have a complete clarity on all these terms, how they are related with each other, and what is the purpose of each and every one.